I'm moving. What's poppin', guys? Peace. It's your boy Jay. That's me. Let's dive into Smackdown for May the 5th, 2023. This was a pretty solid show for the most part. It was crazy because all baby faces won. There were no heels that won any match last night. It was all babyface. And I was like, oh shit. It was crazy. But I gotta give it up for the Puerto Rico crowd. They absolutely killed it. This is tremendous. I don't know why WWE doesn't do enough shows in Puerto Rico if they're going to get that big of a reaction. I mean, they brought it, They brought it. And we all should know that Puerto Rico is a part of the U.S., but I wish that WWE would have done this sooner. I really do, because Puerto Rico definitely deserves this after what happened with the hurricane a few years ago. So that should help out. But this was absolutely tremendous. Like, that crowd was on fire the entire night, man. Like, they were so into everything. It was great. I loved it. Like, that's what made this show very good, was because the crowd was so engaging. And I loved it. Absolutely loved it. So we're going to go over the review, and we're also going to go over the Backlash predictions. I was going to talk about the announcement that Triple H made at the Backlash press conference earlier on, where it's going to be a series of triple threat matches, 2 from Raw, 2 from Smackdown, and then the winners of those will face each other at Backlash. I'll talk about that when we get there, because Michael Cole mentioned that on commentary. So I just want to go ahead and get into the review, and we'll talk, and we'll deal with that when we get there. So we kicked the show off with the LWO. They come out to a massive pop. I mean, that place erupted when Rey Mysterio's music hit, and the Eddie Guerrero remix, when that hit, the crowd went apeshit. It was insane. So, Rey asked everyone how they're doing tonight, and says that he's proud the LWO can represent all Hispanic people. Can represent for all Hispanic people. Rey says the Bad Bunny will defeat Damian Priest in the street fight at Backlash. Rey then says that he wants to introduce the next SmackDown Women's Champion, Zelina Vega. Zelina Vega, she gets a really solid reaction. She attempts to get on the mic, but she's interrupted by Judgment Day. So Dominic rips up a LWO t-shirt, which is funny. That's great. Loved it. So Dom speaks in some Spanish, and he calls his dad a deadbeat. Rey speaks in some Spanish, and he tells him to shut up. They go on in Spanish, and the crowd's loving it. Rey proposes a rematch, but Ripley gets in his way. She has a better idea. How about Rey fights her? Then Zelina Vega, she steps up to Rhea Ripley. And then Dominic says, how about you fight both of us? Rey responds and apparently says that, and Rhea says that they're on. Rhea then says that they're on as well. So that's the main event. It's basically going to be a mixed person tag. So then everybody dips out, and then Dom, he slaps Rey. He gets like a real cheap shot in. That was great. Loved it, man. Dominic kicks major ass. He is the best heel in the business. Better than Roman Reigns and better than MJF. those guys don't even come close. I mean, Dominic gets nuclear heat all the time, and I absolutely love it. All right. First match of the night was a bore, that being the Good Brothers, a.k.a. Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, versus the Viking Raiders with AJ Styles on commentary. So, Anderson and Gallows, they get the win here via the Magic Killer. Who cares? Valhalla, a.k.a. Sarah Logan, she got involved a couple times, and then Mia Yim and her, they got into it, and that's how the Good Brothers won. So, who really cares? It's not that important. So, basically, while on commentary, AJ Styles said that the OC, they want to basically win championship gold. The tag titles for Gallows and Anderson, and the women's championship for Michin, which is not going to happen at all. And probably the Universal Championship for AJ Styles, which would actually be cool. So, the announcers, they go over the WWE World Heavyweight Championship tournament. It's going to take place on Raw this coming Monday and on next Friday's SmackDown. So, one Raw superstar will then face one SmackDown superstar after another champion to crown a new champion. To crown the new champion. We'll talk about it now. To me, this is fine. I see nothing wrong with it. It actually makes sense if you really look into it, because who's going to be involved in the triple threat matches that are actually believable? And I know geeks are still wanting that traditional tournament. You're not getting that. I don't like tournaments like that much, I do. I'm fine with it, but only if all guys involved are believable, then that's only when it works. When it's not all guys that are believable, it doesn't work. So, let's just say hypothetically, we were able to get just an 8-person tournament. Just Raw exclusive only. Who would those 8 be? I can only think of, I want to say off the top of my head, just 5. That would be Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Gunther, Braun Strowman, if he wasn't tied to the hip of Ricochet, and who else? I don't know outside of those that I just named, because I'm excluding Cody for obvious reasons, and I just don't know who else. I really don't. And those are all believable guys anyway. But who else would you put in there to round that off with what I just mentioned? There's nobody else. You can't put Matt Riddle. We're not going to go with Gargano and guys like that. There's no need for Bronson Reed. He's not ready for that spot at all. You could, you could put Shinsuke in there as well. My bad. You could put Shinsuke in there. So, yeah, you could put Shinsuke. Okay. But who else? So, this to me actually makes sense. And I'm fine with it. Obviously, they're just doing this just because, if you really think about it, even if a SmackDown star was going to win, they're going to automatically get traded to Raw anyway. People have to realize that you knew this was going to happen anyway. They were going to break rules anyway. Who really cares? I already knew something like this was going to happen anyway. Again, when you're building your champions, you should always have at least 4 to 6 top guys. In the mid-card, you can have 15 to 20 people. Undercard, a few people, maybe 5 or 6 people in the undercard, right? But me, I'm fine with it. It doesn't really matter. Again, I still think it's going to probably end up being Seth Rollins versus somebody, more than likely. You don't want to put Drew McIntyre in that spot since they're doing this anyway. I would much rather them just have Seth Rollins win, and then when Seth Rollins wins, he can feud with Drew McIntyre all throughout the summer. That's what I would do. And then you have McIntyre defeat Rollins, maybe around SummerSlam, because Rollins is super over. He doesn't really need the championship to make him relevant. He's still massively over, whether he has a title or not. Drew McIntyre, on the other hand, is somebody that needs a title big time, and him being heel and him being the top guy would make a lot of sense. Moving on. So Bianca Belair, she's out next. She comments on the love that they received from the UK tour, and she says she's happy to be here in Puerto Rico. She says her heart is here with Smackdown now, reminding us that this is where she made history. She brings up tomorrow's match with Io Sky and comments on how she has been fighting champion around the world and proving she'll show up and show out at all times. Bianca Belair mentions that she'll become the longest reigning champion in the modern era after she retains over Io Sky tomorrow. Then Damage Control, they come out, they interrupt. Bayley takes credit for making Bianca and says that Io will put it into her history party tomorrow. She then can take care of her big head and get out of their ring. Bayley says she and Dakota Kai will focus on winning the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships, so that SmackDown and Michael Cole will belong to Damage Control. So Damage Control, they begin to surround Bianca. She's able to fight them off for a little bit, but she succumbs to the numbers game. And then Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, they come out to make the save. Who really cares? Not really that important. Moving on. Karrion Kross and Scarlett, they're backstage. Kross says, when one has everything they need, everything is in the right place, and they're so sure of who they think they really are, right up until the point when you take away that one little thing. All the formalities and the charade they put on begins to crumble fast. Kross says tonight he plants another seed. He asks Shinsuke Nakamura how much his honor is really worth. Tick tock. So I do like that. And I do think that Kross will probably be one of the guys involved in the triple threat. I think that would make sense. And I kind of do wish that Karrion Kross would have gotten drafted to Raw. I do. Would have been a lot better. I don't know. With him being on SmackDown, the only thing that he could get is the U.S. title. So that's the only thing that he can really get. I don't know. Moving on. Next, the Street Profits versus Imperium. The Street Profits win via the Frog Splash. Moving on. Cody Rhodes, he hits the ring. So Cody Rhodes brings up Brock Lesnar and how he's the beast, the next big thing, or a cowboy or a coward. He can attack a lot of nicknames to his Backlash opponents. My bad. He can attach a lot of nicknames to his Backlash opponent, but when he thinks of Lesnar, he thinks of a different name. Gatekeeper. Cody says his old coach, Double A, a.k.a. Arn Anderson, used to tell him, when you make it as a top guy, you reach the kingdom. Cody says Lesnar is Lesnar is the one standing over the gate in the kingdom. Cody says, if you work for WWE, you'll never have to face Lesnar. You can travel all around. You can travel all around and make a good living without fighting him. But Lesnar picked a fight with Cody, and still has not explained why. Yes, I know, which is weird. Cody says maybe Lesnar will disclose the information when he beats it out of him at Backlash tomorrow. Cody says he just saw the same video package we did, where he's afraid of Lesnar. Cody says that this is true, and everyone should be afraid of Lesnar. But it's time for Backlash, and he has no time to be afraid because he's the one bringing the pain, and it will be a fair fight. Cody goes on about leaving Puerto Rico, able to continue the road to finish the story because he can beat Lesnar. And then the crowd pops big for Cody, and that was it. So I really enjoyed that. We know that Cody Rhodes is more likely going to win. I do see Cody Rhodes being the one to win Money in the Bank and being the one going over to Smackdown to vanquish Roman Reigns. We cannot have this story go on until next year. We just can't. So many people are frustrated within the wrestling community. I'm one of them. Again, this never should have happened. If they would have went ahead and pulled the damn trigger with Cody back at WrestleMania, we wouldn't have been in any of this shit at all. We would not have been in any of this shit. We wouldn't have had no new title at all. Well, we would have had a new title, but we wouldn't have to have a tournament and everything else. SmackDown and Raw wouldn't have to suffer with Roman not being there every damn week. So, again, it would have been better if they would have just given the strap to Cody at Mania. But, oh well. It's on them. They made their bed, now they gotta lie in it. Moving on. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Karrion Kross. Nakamura wins via the Kinshasa, which makes sense. This is a pretty decent match here. I enjoyed it for the most part. I do expect for Kross to be in one of the triple threat matches, as well as Nakamura. So next, we get a video package for NXT superstars who are going to SmackDown. So Cameron Grimes, to the moon. He's backstage with Adam Pearce. So Pearce welcomes Cameron Grimes to SmackDown, and Cameron Grimes thanks Adam Pearce for the opportunity to show the world what he's about. Then Baron Corbin interrupts, and Pearce says he's busy with Cameron Grimes. Corbin then taunts Cameron Grimes for being the last pick of the WWE draft. Cameron Grimes says that that's better than not being picked at all. Corbin mentions Cameron Grimes having no respect and brings up how Brock Lesnar is also a free agent. Corbin says he's a free agent because both brands could not agree on who wanted him more. Pearce says that that's not how he remembered it. Corbin can't believe what Pearce is saying. Grimes is worth more than him. Corbin then rants about Grimes being irrelevant and calling him Mr. Irrelevant. So Cameron Grimes then suggests a match, and Pearce makes it official for next week. So I do like this. This is great. Smart stuff here. This is great. Cameron Grimes looks super good. He looks super jacked. Can't wait to see how he looks next week. I'm so glad that he's on the main roster. Cameron Grimes should have been on the main roster last year, if we're being honest here. Like, he should have been on the main roster last year. I'm not gonna hold you guys up. Cameron Grimes is great. I could damn sure see him tearing it up in the mid card, and I wouldn't be shocked if he becomes U.S. champion. I think that would be great for him. And then the main event, Rey Mysterio and Zelina Vega versus Dominic Mysterio and Rhea Ripley. So Rey Mysterio and Zelina Vega, they get the win here. Post-match, the Judgment Day, they beat down Rey Mysterio and Zelina Vega. And then Bad Bunny and the LWO, they come out with kendo sticks and they beat down the Judgment Day. And Bad Bunny puts on the LWO shirt and stands tall with Judgment Day. I mean, stands tall with the LWO. So I do like this. That was cool right there. Again, SmackDown was, for the most part, solid. Remember, it was weird to see that all babyfaces won. Every single babyface won. Not a heel won in sight. That was crazy. No heels won at all. They were anti-heel on this show. All right, let's get into the predictions. Austin Theory versus Bronson Reed versus Bobby Lashley for the United States Championship. Bobby Lashley. Well, actually, no. I'm going to go with Austin Theory retaining, and then Cameron Grimes works his way up, and he's the one to dethrone Austin Theory. Rhea Ripley versus Zelina Vega for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Rhea Ripley, hands down. This match shouldn't even last no more than about 5 to 8 minutes. Let's just be real. Just be honest. Seth Rollins versus Omos. Still, I understand why we're getting this match. We know that Omos is an attraction, just like Brock Lesnar. That's the only reason why we got these matches anyway, because they're special attractions. Seth Rollins is going to win. I mean, that's a no-brainer. Bianca Belair versus Io Sky for the Raw Women's Championship. This is kind of hard. I like Bianca, but I also like Io Sky. I'm going to go with Bianca Belair retaining, and they'll probably end up giving Bianca a new world title. Same thing with Rhea, and that's what they'll end up doing. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Matt Riddle versus the versus the Bloodline. The Usos and Solo Sikoa. I'm sick and tired of these 6 guys mixing it up anyway. I'm tired of it beyond belief. It seems like it's probably going to be Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens to get the win here. It will make the most sense. Oh, I forgot to mention that Solo Sikoa. Well, I'll talk about that before I end the video. And then Brock Lesnar versus Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes, no brainer here. We know Brock's not going to work past 10 minutes anyway. So, yeah. Those are my predictions. I forgot to mention in the Smackdown review about... Yeah, I forgot to mention a couple of things on this review. Hold on, let me go back. So Matt Riddle and Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, they're backstage. Riddle says that there's a lot of drama within the Bloodline. More on than Succession. But they have them right where they want them. He goes on about how Sami and Kevin Owens winning the titles. Then last week's win over Jimmy Uso. There's only one thing left to do, and that's to beat the Bloodline at Backlash. So bad that there's no one left in the Bloodline for Randy Orton to come back to. Matt Riddle says that he's talking. He asks if he's talking too much. Sami Zayn says Riddle has said everything that there is to say, and there's nothing left for him or Owens to say. So that was pretty cool. Forgot to mention that in there. I want to mention about this one segment involving the Bloodline. I'm trying to find it in my notes. Well, not in my notes, but what I'm looking at on my phone. Give me 1 second, guys. Hold on. Let me scroll down this a little bit more. I don't see it, though. I'm looking. I'm searching still, and I still don't see it. I know. Hold on. Maybe this was before Cody. Hold on. Oh, yeah, it was. My bad. I forgot to mention this. So I found it. So Solo Sikoa, he's backstage. He's shaving up his thumb. So the Usos, they walk in, and they try to hype him up for the 6-man tag tomorrow. So Solo, he's focused. Jey Uso stares at Solo and tells Solo, his brother asked him a question. Solo says he heard the question, and tomorrow he'll do his part. But all he knows is they better do their parts, and then Solo walks off. So Jimmy scolds Jay for having to say something. So I do like this. It's still more tension within the bloodline. It actually makes a lot more sense. And you can tell it's going to happen. You can tell the turn is coming. We know that Roman is beyond pissed. And see, this is one thing that pisses me off about this, is that we've not seen Roman in 5 weeks. And this should have been addressed when they first lost the tag titles back at WrestleMania. This should have immediately been addressed on the Smackdown after Mania. That's how this should have went down. But we'll get it next week. So thank you guys for watching. Please hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe to my videos. Let me know what you guys think of what you guys thought of the show. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.